Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's May 23rd, 2024, and today it's time to get some of the sweet potatoes put into the garden plot. Thea and I have been real busy this last week getting things ready for the gardens. This morning I weeded all along where the weeds have been working up their way to where the scarlet red runner beans will be. We've been working on the raspberry patches, the blueberry patches, and Thea's over there today working in the central garden, getting corn seeds in, transplanting some pumpkins that she had started, and some tomato plants as well. So she's been busy there. She's run off to the post office right now. But we're going to get the sweet potato plants put into the ground. Now, over the years, we've changed our methods for growing sweet potatoes. So we used to start off with sweet potatoes in the in late winter, taking the sweet potatoes, put them in jars and letting the slips come off, and then rooting the slips in perlite and water. And that worked extremely well. We're real happy with that. But there was time and energy put into it. And long story short, we made several changes over the year, and there's a whole playlist of what we've done. But over the last few years, what I've done is when we're harvesting the sweet potatoes, so this is the bed that we grew the sweet potatoes in last year. I didn't get a cover crop in between last year and now. But after the last harvest, but there was a nice cover crop in the year before that. So we'll go 2 crops between the cover crop. But this fall I'll get a cover crop in. But when I'm harvesting the sweet potatoes are still attached to some of the roots, the small roots where it goes to the root crown. And what I do is I take all the sweet potatoes off of the roots, and I cut back all of the vines to about 3 inches or so. And then what we do is we pot those up and overwinter them. They stay in the house over the winter. They grow vines. The vines can get quite long. We keep cutting the vines, and that ends up turning out okay. Some of them actually start to put some sweet potatoes in as well. But these are just fine. We've been doing it now for a couple of years. We'll plant these pots into the bed over there. But the other thing we did do this real early spring, when it was still too cold over in our work area, we took some of the vines and we put them in jars of water like this. So by putting the cut vines, putting them in a jar of water, this is 2 weeks ago. In 2 weeks time, they really get quite a bit of roots going on, and we give pretty good sized vines that we put in. There's the caliper, so they're smaller than a pencil, bigger than a needle. I don't know, a little bit more than an inch, a couple of millimeters in thickness, and we do that. So no matter what, we're almost guaranteed everything's going to work out unless the deer come in and eat them all. And they can come in through the front garden right now, so I got to remember to get some sort of a gate up here to try and manage that situation. So that's what I'm going to do now, is take these sweet potato plants that we harvested last fall. We removed all the sweet potatoes, removed all the vines except for a very small section where there was at least 1 leaf node there, and then we overwintered them in pots. And that's what we're going to be putting in today. And a little over 2 weeks ago, we went ahead and cut some more vines, put them in the quart water jars just so that they would root. And they came from these pots that we had. And now we're going to get them started over here. This bed, I didn't broad fork today, so often I'll use the broad fork, which is a big set of tines with very long spikes that I can go in and help to aerate the soil. But this seems so nice and loose and beautiful to me. All I did do was, just because it was uneven after me harvesting last season, I just took the little tilter, which turns the first maybe 1.5 inches of soil down some. Then I hooked up the drip tape, make sure that the drip tapes were working, no leaks at all, and that's where I'll be planting them as well. So that's the goal. I'm going to try and get these ones in, and we'll see how fortunate I am. Time to turn the drip tape on. Drip tape is on. Okay, so we just got the sweet potato slips, the rooted vines, I should say, and the potted roots from last season's sweet potatoes in the ground. So this is our sweet potato bed. Now it still is going to need some double ground hardwood bark mulch to mulch the surface for all the weed seeds that have been falling on the top of this and all. I just turned the drip tape irrigation on. So, and that'll be on for about 45 minutes. And I should have mentioned, I tried to put them right below, if you can see, right below where the drip was. So I turned it on beforehand for 10 minutes so I could see the wet spots. And that's how I knew just about where I wanted to put them. So that's more than enough sweet potatoes. We still have a ton of sweet potatoes in the root cellar. Unfortunately, the humidity level got a little bit too high, so some of them are moldy, so they'll be going out and getting composted. But the rest of them, it's time to cook them up and freeze them up for the rest of this season. So once again, I'm sharing this because I'm always trying to show ways that potentially will be less time and energy involved. You saw real time, no fast, no time-lapsed video there, and just to see how quick it was. And just about 2 weeks before, we're putting in 2 to 3 weeks. Cut the vines, put them in a jar of water. Make sure the water stays clean. You may have to change it. I don't know if Thea did change it. She took care of it. We had it under fluorescent lights, just as we had those plants under fluorescent lights. But when you're harvesting them in the fall, remove all the tubers, leave some root there. It doesn't have to be a lot of root. Cut off the vines, leave a couple of leaf nodes there because the new leaves and vines will emerge from those spots, and just leave two nodes per little piece of vine that sticks out. And it's super easy. Pot it up. You just keep them watered. You don't have to do anything, no fertilizer, no nothing over the winter months, and just give them some daylight time, just like in the winter. Nothing extraordinary. You're not trying to grow them out, you're just trying to keep them alive over the winter months. And then you see how quick and easy it is to get them into the ground, and then how wonderful it is at the end of the season when you have all the sweet potatoes. So that's it for today's video, folks. I just wanted to share what are the ways that we do this. I've got to get back to gardening here, get some work done. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. And by all means, folks, stay safe and take good care of yourselves and enjoy your gardens. Bye-bye now.